So welcome back, and boy do we have a special episode today. I have been wanting me a commercial splitter for a long period of time. I've been wanting to ramp up my firewood production. Well, let's just say that is going to happen today. This is my personal log splitter right here from American CLS, the American company that y'all haven't heard of. So a quick introduction to my new personal log splitter right here. As y'all been seeing, we've been collecting logs and we've been talking about ramping up firewood production here on the channel this year and moving into next year. And my old machine, well, it's just not going to be able to handle the production needs that I'm looking for. So we're going to do a quick walkthrough of this machine right here, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about the company, and then we're going to dive right into doing a little bit of splitting in this episode as well. All right, so again, this is called the Animal. This is the flagship machine from a company in upstate New York. By the way, this is all American made right here. And the company is called American CLS, or American Conveyors and Log Splitters. They have a full line of log splitters and conveyor systems, as well as all the accessories to go along with it. So let me show you some of the features of this model and why I chose it over some other ones that they do offer. So starting at the front of the machine, we have some very heavy duty pans right here. They're actually made out of 3/8 inch steel. This whole machine is unbelievably robust. I'm seeing 1-inch thick steel in a lot of places, all the way down to like 3/8 for the pans. You're just not going to bend this. As a result, it's around 1,500 plus pounds. Looking at the front of this machine, something very unique. It has a huge single wedge that's 14 inches tall. That's something I'm looking for. I split a lot of very large wood here. We're down in Florida and we get really massive trees. 14 inches tall is great. The wedge on my last machine is about half this tall, and constantly on the really big rounds, I'd find that it would want to flip and kind of go over as you're pinching them in. It has a very unique design. It's kind of a big pizza wedge shape right here, so that should really pop the wood apart great. We're going to test that. So those of you that watch the channel regularly know that I hurt my back a while back, and that's honestly what inspired me to start looking for new splitters, and I was looking all over the place. So I had a herniated disc that wound up putting me down 2 different times for days at a time, and I've decided I'm not getting any younger. I no longer want to lift firewood rounds, and I knew I wanted a machine that could lift those. This is an extremely robust log lift right here. They claim 400 plus pounds. I can easily see it doing that no problem. It should be able to lift any rounds that I can ever fit onto it. So as we move around to the main components on the machine, we're talking a massive cylinder here. Looks like a 5-inch cylinder, and you're going to see in a second it's got a 3-inch rod on it. 30 tons of force here, and all this is driven by a 22-gallon-a-minute pump. A large hydraulic reservoir here on the back, and one of my personal favorites to see on a machine like this, a Honda GX390 engine. We all know Honda probably makes the most reliable engines in this size right here for equipment like this, so very happy to see they're going with a Honda machine. As we look up top, we have 3 control valves. These are all Prince control valves, again right here in the States, from raising the log lift, from raising the wedges up front, and then driving the machine forward, and it does have auto return. This machine pretty much comes decked out from the factory, but you can add a few add-ons like electric start, which is added on to mine. And about the only add-on I don't have is you can get fenders on these as well. I'm not traveling with this machine, so I did not need the fenders. Here's a quick look at that Honda GX390 and this massive 22-gallon-a-minute pump back here. Large hydraulic reservoir. And there's your filter. So I have yet to split a single piece of wood on this machine. I was saving that for you, the viewer. Let's go through this together. I am so looking forward to learning how to use this. So let's split a little bit. I got a variety of wood, from already dried standing dead pieces to massive large green pieces, and some smaller stuff that I think I'm going to try to run through the 6-way wedge today. All right, now this is the part I am most looking forward to, a log lift. Let's see how easy it is to roll stuff up on it and what all it'll lift. Now this is some standing dead oak that we cut down, and I'm looking forward to potentially burning it this year because my firewood inventory is very low. Tiffany and I typically burn through about 4 to 5 cords of wood a year, and I'm nowhere near what I need. So I'm gonna cut up all my standing dead stuff first, try to get it out in the sun, and I think it'll be dry enough to burn this winter. Now because this is also very dry, I'm curious to see how it's going to split. It's already drying out and checking on me. I prefer to split green wood, but again, I need to use this up. I should also mention there's a large catch pan on this side, something I'm looking forward to having. So as you split wood, it doesn't fall off onto you. That's an optional feature on some of their other models, but from what I've seen, it already comes on the Animal. All right, so let's fire this up. It's gonna take me a little bit to get used to the controls. Well, we have 2 more than I've ever had before, so I'm gonna have to get used to how to operate this. That's nice. 4 pieces of firewood, 1 push. All right, first impressions, awesome. Obviously, it didn't struggle the least bit with the 4-way pushing through this stuff right here, and it outrun me. So I should mention this machine has around a 9-second cycle time because it's got the large 30-ton cylinder on there. Their next model down, which I was seriously considering, is called the Split or Super Split, something like that. Maybe it's Super. I keep getting my words mixed up. It has a much quicker 6-second cycle time. I was really thinking about that model. But honestly, with all the large wood that I have to split around here, I decided ultimately to go with a slightly slower machine that was capable of splitting the large diameter oaks that we get and running a 6-way efficiently. We get a lot of smaller stuff too. That's where a 6-way wedge is really going to shine. You see right there at times, I'm pushing 1 time and getting 4 pieces of wood. That is awesome. Eventually, when I size everything out perfectly and figure the machine out, we're going to do 1 push and get 6 pieces of wood. My production has just sped up dramatically. This is also a good time to mention that they have a wide variety of splitters. This being the flagship model, well, this may not be for everybody, but for the person that's looking for major robustness, a high tonnage machine, and able to push a 4- and 6-way, this is the model to go with. The model right beneath it will save you some money, speed up your splitting time, and still allow you to easily run at least a 4-way wedge. After the owner, Larry, and I talked for quite a while, we had great conversations. He found out I had a social media channel, and after discussion, he asked me if I would demo one of his tractor units. Yes, they even make them to run off the hydraulics of a tractor or to put on a PTO pump. So the good news is, for any of y'all looking to get into an American-made machine at an affordable price, a tractor option is a great option as well, and a lot of y'all have asked me to test one. So that'll be coming up on the channel here before long. We have a lot of goodies to add on that machine, and I want to show you all the way from assembly to swapping out hydraulic pumps, speeding it up, all that good stuff we're going to cover on the channel. All right, so something I'm curious about, I have a massive round over here that I want to see if the log lift will lift it. I don't think it'll have a problem, and I want to try just the big single-way wedge for busting up large pieces. Let me show you something. If you come over here to my partial wood pile, I have a much bigger pile back there, and we're going to get even more wood. I have massive oaks, some 40+ inches. As you can see, I split a lot of really big wood. All right, to change this out, all I have to do is loosen this set screw right here on the back. That releases this from the cylinder. Slide that off. Now I can retract this out of the way, and because we have such a massive splitting wedge right here, no wood should ever get behind it and catch this, but we'll retract it back. Now I'm very curious about using this huge 14-inch wedge for busting up some big rounds. Look what I got right here. Man, oh man, this thing is big, but I have a lot bigger pieces than this. All right, you're gonna hear heavy breathing now. So in the past, I would have to put my old splitter in vertical position and wrestle these, and it was just a nightmare. It's so bad on your back. Let's see if this lift will get this up to me. Take it nice and slow, because I don't want this to fall off and hit my controls or anything else. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, holy smokes. There's nothing. Absolutely no problem. All right, so that worked beautiful. Yeah, I had a few big pieces fall off. I think that's gonna happen when you start getting into rounds that massive, unless you build a catch pan way the heck out of here. All right, let's get this beast on here. All right, tighten up that set screw. Check that monster out. So I see a lot of people running 6-ways on YouTube, but what I also see a lot of people doing is running very large wood on 6-ways. Obviously you could do that, but you're gonna wind up with 6 huge chunks. I'm gonna experiment with a few different size wood right here. I think you should run smaller stuff on a 6-way personally, and the ultimate goal is to push once and get 6 pieces of wood. Some of this may be a little too big, some of it may be a little too small, but let's run it and see. We're gonna do a full episode on this coming up in the future, and eventually what I'm trying to get to is where I stage all my logs in my wood yard. I'm gonna have a small section, maybe a medium section, and a large section of logs, so I can go pick and pluck those and just spend, say, a full day splitting with just the 6-way, not doing any changing out. I think that'll keep my production up and make me most efficient. Wood or running a big stove, this is probably what you're looking for. Down here in the south, well, we're all burning in fire pits outside, so I like mine about half this size. Split pretty nice. So first impressions, I'm impressed. After coming from a box store splitter for, well, all of my life, there's just no comparisons in the overall build quality that you can easily see to the, well, components of the machine and the production. The machine is easily outrunning me, which I'm gonna speed up as I learn the controls and how I want the workflow to go. What I'm also really excited about is once we get our shed up down here, well, I'll be working in the shade, I'll have a fan above me, I'll be more productive, and I'm gonna get Tiffany to come out here and help me. If I could just stay here and straight split while somebody stacked, I think we could get a cord of wood very quickly and multiple cords in a day, which is exactly the type of production that I'm looking for. So as we wrap this up, a quick little history about this company, because some of you may be curious about it like I was. Whenever I was calling around for splitters a while back, I talked to several different companies, by the way, but when I talked to Mr. Larry, the owner of American CLS, I was immediately hooked. So whenever you call, you're supporting a small business, you're talking directly with the owner himself, and he is big about the American dream and supporting the American economy. And after a while, like I said, I was hooked. I decided this is who I want to support and continue to work with. And as I explained, the more we've had conversations, we have decided to work together. I'm going to be demoing his tractor unit here coming up on the channel. I'm excited to show that. So American CLS is in upstate New York. They service, well, kind of the north area to a small dealer network. And the reason you've probably never heard of them is because they're just now venturing into social media. Actually, a friend of mine, Everything Elliott, that's his YouTube channel. If you want to go check him out, he was the first place that I ever seen one of these splitters right here. And I said, you got to be kidding. I had no idea. I watch a ton of firewood channels. I had no idea there was another American-made splitter company out there. So that's how I found them. So if you decide to buy one of these, what you're doing is you're supporting a small American-owned business that has about 12 employees in total that you're impacting from all the welders and other people that help put these things together. Not to mention the Prince valves made in America and some of the other hydraulic components as well. So you're supporting other American-made companies. And probably most importantly, you're just getting a robust, well-made machine. I don't foresee me ever wearing this out anytime soon. The other good thing about this company right here, whenever I was talking to Mr. Larry about my particular machine, the sky's the limit. When you're calling and dealing directly with the manufacturer, he was asking me questions like heights, how do you want the lever adjustments, things like that. You can personally set a machine up how you want. It's not just the box store, what you see is what you get. You can change everything, add-ons, heights of the machine. You can make them do modifications, anything you want. So that's why if you're curious about one of these, I say call them. I'm gonna put their website down in the description so you can go check out this machine and all the other ones that they offer. But I highly suggest you pick up the phone, talk with Mr. Larry, let him know the features and add-ons that you want, what exactly you're looking for, and he can work you up a quote. All right, y'all. It's too hot down here to be splitting today. We're gonna get back to doing some splitting over the next few days as we enjoy another cool snap. And I am excited to show y'all the building that's going on in the background, our new firewood processing center as we'll call it. You can probably hear the saws running, and we're gonna do a lot more splitting with this machine right here, and a lot of really awesome tests are coming up on the channel before long.